What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I'm your host, Rexx Ruger. That, of course, is the Freddie. Well, I called him the Freddie Mercury puppet. That's my other podcast. That, of course, is the Alexis Arguello puppet. God damn it, we're on the boxing podcast, man. But my guest is here. We're going to get down to it and chop it up. I don't know what I was thinking, man. Lord only knows. There he is. What's up, my man?
What's going on?
Happy to have you on here, man. It's a pleasure to meet you, man.
Yeah, great to meet you.
I appreciate you doing this and on such short notice, man. And congratulations, just coming off of a first round KO.
Yeah.
Usually when I start these things, I kind of like to start at the beginning. EZRI, what age did you get a pair of boxing gloves on? How early did you start in the game?
My first amateur fight was at 22 years old. But let's say gloves on, probably 19 years old.
So by a lot of people's standards, man, that'd be kind of like a late start, no?
Very late.
Now, so what was it that led you to a boxing gym?
Me and my cousin, there was a local gym we were at, and there was a boxing gym in the back. And I said that I was gonna give everything I had to boxing, and he said he was gonna give everything he had to weightlifting. It was just honestly just a decision. I've always been a fighter. Growing up, I fought most of my friends. The thing is, I wasn't winning those fights, but it'd probably be a different story now, for sure. Yeah. Like I said, I've always been a fighter at heart. But I just never knew like the mechanics and like how to actually fight. So I don't know. I just started fighting.
Why are we beating up all the friends, EZRI? Can't we all just get along?
Nah, man, it creates a thicker bond, man. It's all good.
I get it, man. I get it. And getting that late of a start in the sport, you weren't. Were you watching it a lot when you were younger? And were there guys you were looking up to in the sport, or did that not come until later?
I actually had no idea about anything in the sport. I didn't even know what a jab was. I didn't even know what a jab was. I knew it was a punch, but I didn't know which hand it was, what it was. I knew nothing about boxing.
That's pretty remarkable, man. That's pretty remarkable. And so this was just like, so this is more or less just came to be from just you and a friend just saying, I'm gonna give this a shot.
Yes, that's pretty much all it was. I knew that I felt that with my consistency and how much I really wanted to do it and how much I really wanted to learn how to fight, that I could become something if I gave my all.
And was there anybody that was standing in your way or saying, hey, EZRI, let's maybe think of a different career path here? You really want to get punched in the face for a living?
Of course. There were several people. But, I decided that's what I wanted to do, and that was it.
And so when you do get into the sport, do you feel like you're playing catch up? Are there guys that you're watching and studying and trying to like learn from?
Well, no, I'm definitely studying and watching many people, all the fighters. But at the point where I'm at right now, signed to promotion, Jetta Promotions, got a little thing going, 7-0, 1 draw, 5 knockouts. I'd say probably that I caught up by now.
Yeah. And so now that you're in the sport, what are your goals for the sport? Like, obviously, there's guys who love to go to different weight divisions, capture as many championships in a lot of weight classes. There's guys who kind of look like a Terrence Crawford who likes to just like narrow in on becoming undisputed at weight classes, unifying belts. What goals have you set for yourself?
Honestly, I'm simple. I want to become, the greatest version of myself, but I want to accomplish as much as I can to the highest standard in this sport with the time that I do have. You know what I mean? It's limited. Father Time is on his way always, sure. But trust me, though, I don't feel that way. I feel great. I feel amazing. Yeah. But I want to accomplish as much as I can in the time that I'm here, and whatever makes the most sense, honestly. I'm simple.
And now, how old are you right now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 30 years old right now, and I'm actually going to be turning 31 August 28th, so next month.
And so at 30 years old, but not having the wear and tear at 30 that a lot of fighters who get at 30 years old, where do you feel like you are in terms of in your prime? In it? Not even there yet?
Man, I really don't know. I took this test, right? My mom has this scale that you can step on, and it tells you your the age, from the scale and stuff. And it actually said 23 years old. It said I was 23 years old. So prime, I guess maybe it's honestly at every camp I feel younger. You know what I mean? With the swimming that I do, how I take care of my body, the foods that I put into my body, the sleep that I'm getting, every single day, I feel better. So I don't know. I guess prime. I guess I just feel great, man. I honestly don't know what to say on that.
And now you're currently fighting at super middleweight. Is that going to be home? Are you interested in exploring other weight classes?
So I think
Because
like
you
my
started bigger. You started bigger, didn't you?
yeah. I actually started at a light heavyweight as an amateur. Then
Mm-hmm.
I was number two in the country at heavyweight. At that time it was I was 201 and under. So for I was 201 and under heavyweight and amateurs. So I've been there for a couple of years. And then I tried the cruiserweight. When cruiserweight came around, it was 189 plus. I was number one in that. And then pro, I went to 68, and I even dabbled in one in middleweight. I weighed in as low as 157. I was able to see, you know, I don't really like to say limits, but truly I saw how low I could go. That's
Yep.
where I had my first draw. So I'm just thankful in that, to understand like, hey, we're not going down this low. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, man. Right now, and the thing is, it's funny that you asked that. I was thinking about this. I was actually I was thinking about settling into light heavyweight, but things happened and matchmaking, and I guess God just wanted to show me again that I can stay around super middleweight, a little bit longer. But you're definitely 100% super middleweight right now, and whatever makes sense, I can make the weights easy, and light heavy for sure will be in no time for sure.
Being that you got into the sport as late as you did, what did you find was the hardest part of learning to fight, learning to box? What was the thing that you struggled with the most when you decided to jump into this?
I think the main thing that I struggled with, and especially in the beginning, uh, was just that I wasn't getting back what I was putting in. Starting off so late, it's like and how I work, it's like I wasn't receiving what I thought that I was putting in, understanding that I truly didn't know what it took. You know what I
Right.
mean? Running
Right.
six miles here, telling my coach I ran 6 miles here, and he's like, "Yeah, good job, but there's more work to be done." When
Right.
I was younger, I was like, "Bro, I just ran 6 miles. Like, what do you mean?" But
Right.
understanding that there's not a cap, and what you can become, and it was just being patient, man. It was truly just being patient. Um, Having the patience kind of settled me, wanting things too fast,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
that was really it. Because staying persistent, you're gonna get what you want, just staying persistent. So
I think that's probably like something that probably plays a lot of young athletes, wanting things quickly.
yeah,
I think the
yeah,
patient thing is probably big. We want everything to happen for us. It might not even just be young. I think that's people at any age.
facts,
They just
facts,
want they want what they want when they want it,
yeah.
and so was it hard for you when you first got into boxing? Were you finding any part of it frustrating, daunting? Was there any point where you wanted to throw in the towel and say, "What am I doing here?"
Several times, several times. I used to commute to Washington D.C. I used to train with some fighters and some teams down there for 2.5 years. I commuted maybe it was like 2.5, 3 hour drives every single day. And then I actually commuted to Philadelphia every single day for 2.5 years. That was about a 2 hour drive because I'm in Dover, Delaware, so I'm right in the middle, you
Okay.
know. And just the teams and people I was with, they saw, what I was giving out. Like I'm only a human being with, an honest human being would see, the energy that I'm giving to it. But
Right.
God had other plans for me. Actually, I'm training with my original coach, the coach that showed me how to throw a jab, Dwayne Obi, out of Dover, Delaware. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like I made like a full circle, a full circle right back home. Now I'm only 15 minutes away from the gym. So I'm very thankful.
And now, when you get into boxing at the age that you are in, because you seem like a guy who thinks things through and seems very calculated, have you thought about how long, I've asked this question to other guys, how long do you want to be in the sport? There's a lot of guys that have an exit strategy, like, wherein they say, I want to fight this amount of fights, or I want to be out of the sport by, this age. Have you mapped out your career to that extent, or are you kind of playing it by ear still?
It's really crazy, like with me, because once I see somebody accomplish something, that shows me, well, that should show anyone that it's possible for them as well.
Right.
You had Pacquiao do what he did at his age.
Crazy, I know.
The other light heavyweight, you got Bivol and who's the other guy? I can't remember.
Better BF.
Better
Yeah.
BF. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should show you and tell you, don't put a cap on yourself. Who knows? As long as I'm healthy, I'm gonna fight. You know what I mean? So I don't have an age or a limit for that. I'm just gonna run as high as long as I can.
And now your record is 7-0 right now. The majority of those, if I'm not mistaken, have been via knockout. Right?
I got 5 stoppages.
Yeah. So 5 out of 7 fights. I think people would look at that on paper and without having seen you fight, would say, for lack of a better term, knockout artist, heavy-handed. But would you say that's a fair assessment of your fighting style, or are there other layers to your game that you would want people to know? And are you more technical? Are you more of a tactical boxer? For people that haven't seen you fight,
that's 100%. For 100%, I have more tools to my game. I definitely want to show more that have the understanding and the mechanics and defense and catching and slipping and rope and pivoting, and there's so much stuff I want to show. Ring generalship. There's a lot of more things to my game that the world hasn't seen. And each fight as continue, it's coming out little by little. But definitely 100%. I feel that I am a boxer puncher. But yeah, it's so much more to my game that people have not seen. But definitely a boxer puncher, man. I can box. I can do whatever my corner asks me to do. That's what we're gonna do. If we can fight in the inside, I love that.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, though. See, I love that war hat too.
Thank you.
I'm a fighter, bro. So when I say that, if it was my choice, of course it's my choice, but I got my team, thank God. If it was my choice, I would walk down everybody, my hands up, and just catch and bend my legs and just catch and start shooting back and just try to get you out of there. But
you like being in there. You like being you like being in the eye of the storm.
Yeah, I love it, but also I can box, we can move around, pop that jab, feint and stuff, so there's just so much more to be shown.
And for those that don't know, and I'm glad, and I'm proud that you pointed out the hat, because I have dubbed it the Summer of Hagler. And I don't even know why it's the Summer of Hagler, but I've just dubbed this summer the Summer of Hagler.
Let's go.
Yeah. It just feels right, man. I'm in upstate New York. It's hotter than hell. Hagler was hotter than hell, man. You know what I mean? Like, just always running and sweating and yelling war. You know what I mean? Like, I love those old school fighters. I love those old school.
Yeah, definitely. One of the number one for me. A switch hitter, heart. Great hat.
And now, who are some guys right now in the sport that you enjoy watching from a fan standpoint?
It's crazy, man. Because I really just watch everybody. There's no certain fighters. What's going on right now? Well, Tank just they said he retired. Literally, it was not too long ago. I heard a couple hours ago, I think.
Yeah, I'm never sure, man. I take that with a grain of salt. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know, man.
But I don't know. With me, I'm a little different. I really don't really praise a certain fighter or anything. I definitely like Jamal's jab. Oh my gosh, Jamal's jab. His last fight was so great. But I watch everybody, bro. There's not a certain person.
And so let me check your temperature on a couple of hot topics going on in the sport right now. So we are going to see Bud and Canelo next month. How do you see that fight shaking out? And of course, this is all subjective. This is your opinion here.
Yeah. I know that Bud's a dog. Canelo hasn't been knocked out. He is getting older. He's showing it in the ring. We got Bud definitely, I feel, is more technical for sure.
Yeah, the funny thing is, though, when you bring the ages up, though, fucking Canelo is much younger.
Yeah, but
I
it's
think
just
people just associate, though, because he's got a lot of miles on him with the fights.
that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily the number because I'm
Yeah.
going to be 30. I mean 31.
Right.
I don't even agree with that really, but I'm talking more on on thought of how he's moving around the ring and like
Yeah.
how he's performing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not the young Canelo for sure. It's
I mean, he turned pro at 15, so in
yeah,
boxing years, he's like 50.
yeah. For real though.
Yeah.
You got, but as you get older, you got the strength. You have the understanding. You know what I mean? But I am, and then the weight classes as well with Bud and
Oh, yeah.
Canelo. Weight classes are for a reason. You know what I mean? Of course, we have Crawford with putting on the weight. Whatever. He looks good and strong. But for me, I feel that maybe you should just have like a little bit of a tune-up fight or just something so you could feel what it's like, in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So honestly, with me, I'm gonna lean towards. I think I feel dumb not to lean towards Canelo, but and Crawford's like kind of like a wish, you know what I mean, like a hope,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm just gonna say 50-50. There you
It
go.
is. It really is, though. You know what? And it is cliche to hear that. And when guys are put on the spot, like we do hear guys say all the time, it's a pick 'em fight. It's a 50-50 fight. But this one is so hard to see one of these guys not getting their arm raised.
Yeah. I can see it both ways.
It's just we're so used to both of these guys being so successful.
Yeah.
That it's hard to fathom either one of these guys losing a fight.
Yeah.
And how about Jake Paul? Where do you stand on him and what he's done for the sport of boxing? Do you look at him and praise him as an actual fighter, or has he not earned that in the eyes of other fighters?
My opinion, I think he has.
Yeah.
My opinion, I think he has. He's truly showing everyone that he's serious in this. And the thing is, if you're a true fighter, you'll see that the things that he's doing. Of course, there's things that he has to work on and everything. That's
Right.
everybody. There's you can't just jump into this. Like it takes time, but you truly can see the progress. Saying that he's not a true fighter and all that. That's just showing me that maybe you're not really paying attention.
Yeah.
I like what he's doing, especially with women's boxing as well. That's fire. That's fire.
Definitely.
I like Jake Paul. I like him.
And so are there things in the gym right now that you're going to work on, and without giving away too much of your game plan, like what's something that you're really focused on, really tightening up or strengthening in your game?
Honestly, each fight, each camp, I just build off of what I'm already working on.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I feel that I am over that 4-rounder hump. I've had 2 6-rounders already.
Yep.
Defending and getting my belt that I had, NBA belt. So and honestly for me, I love more rounds because you have that mental cushion, for the beginning rounds. Maybe I'll just move around and shoot my jab, see how the fighter's reacting with the feints, blah blah blah. And then now we're playing a cardio game, which I'm not going to be at that. I promise you that. What was the question again? I was talking about.
Like something that you're working on consciously in the gym that you would like to see a little tighter and better in your game, man.
Overall, everything, man. I'm gonna bend my legs more. I'm gonna shoot my jab 1,000 more times. I want to be more compact. I want to have head movement. I want to be one thing that I did do for my last fight. Watching the previous fight was the calmness that I had going into the ring. The calmness that I had during it was 1-round fight. With the stoppage in the last second, but the calmness showing you the maturity. That I'm actually going through. I'm just building off my life. Not a certain thing. Everything.
What is your preparation like? Like, are you a guy that you because you did make the point that you just love to watch boxing, immerse yourself in it. You'll watch anybody. I'm kind of like that too. I like to just watch. If there's a fight on, I'm watching it. You know what I mean? But when it comes to preparing for the fight, are you a guy that watches a lot of your opponents, or do you leave it up to the team?
Nah, my team, they watch it, and I watch it as well. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if they fought a month ago, 2 months ago. Everybody they can change up things. They could be it could be a totally different fight. So
Right.
you definitely don't want to stick on like one thing that they're doing. Now, you can watch their body movements and maybe there's things that they do or whatever, but I don't really go too much into what I see through tape. I do watch a little bit, but I just know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna present,
Right.
and that's it. I really go for myself, really.
What about as a young fighter? Do you ever give any thought to? And this is something I've been critical of here on my own show. We do unfortunately see a lot of bad judging and bad scoring. You know what I mean? It is still kind of a black cloud that hangs over the sport. Sometimes it ruins events. It ruins great fights. I don't know what the answer is. I've debated it with many people on here before. But as a young fighter, when you're 7-0. And you might be on the wrong end of a decision, it can change the trajectory of your career and what's going to come down the pike for you in terms of big fights and big financial opportunities. Do you give that a lot of thought? Now, you have had seven wins and 5 of them by knockout, so you're not leaving a lot to the cards.
Right.
But when you do go to the cards, is it something that plagues you in the back of your mind? How do you deal with it?
It doesn't plague me in any way, and I have a full understanding of what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just that what you want to do is you don't want to leave any stone unturned. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You had this training for weeks. You know what I'm saying? You put in the work. It needs to be seen. And you know what I mean? Like, and that when that bell 10-second bell rings, or you got to give your all. You know what I mean? If I leave a fight and I know I give my all, that's all I need. You know what I'm saying? So definitely don't focus too much on say a knockout or whatever. I don't like predicting what's gonna happen.
Right.
But I know for a fact anybody, if I touch you with these some hard punches, you ain't gonna be there for that long.
And so you're not too worried about when your fight goes to the scorecards.
Nah. It just depends. It depends if the energy was given, and I'm gonna give everything I have. But nah, I don't even think about that at all, really.
How active would you like to be? Like, you've already now, correct me if I'm wrong. You've already fought how many times in 2025?
What? 1, 2, 3. I think I fought 3 times. I got 2 more fights scheduled. Yeah.
Okay, so that will be it for 2025. Those 5 fights.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And we are seeing guys nowadays competing for world titles a lot earlier than I'm 52 years old. I remember guys had to have quite a resume under their belt before they could really challenge or be considered for belts. Now we're seeing guys. I always use Keyshawn as the example. His 13th fight, and he wins the WBO welterweight title.
Exactly.
What kind of timeline are you on in terms of a world title fight? Have you talked about that with your team? And is it probable in 2026? Maybe beyond that?
Who knows? You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't like putting caps on anything.
Right.
Everything needs to be strategic and make sense. But I think honestly, with my career, I feel that with my age as well, I feel that maybe there'll be a young prospect come along thinking that they're just going to step over me because of my age, and then that's when I'll shock the world. The whole time anybody that's paying attention to me will already know what's going to happen. It's not going to be a 31-year-old fight. It's going to be a fight, so who knows? But I definitely see my career as that's how I'll probably open up to the world and just give it an opportunity. I have a great promotion, Jetta Promotions, that has great connections, so I'm just thankful, and we will be ready when the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah. And so in terms of fights that have happened this year, I know you say you watch a lot of boxing. Are there any that you particularly enjoyed that really stand out so far? We're a little more than halfway through 2025. We still got some good ones yet to come this year. Certainly we still got some great cards. Thank God Turkey Al-Sheikh has done away with pay-per-view.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. I don't want to say anything from last year. What are some great fights that happened this year?
We did see Tank and Lamont Roach. I mean,
but
that was a very controversial fight. Now that we're on the topic of that, since I brought it up, man, how did you see that fight going? And were you perplexed when Tank gets hair grease in his eye, takes a knee, and doesn't get a knockdown called on him?
I mean, hey, man, you got to do whatever you can do to win. If he felt to take the knee and run over the corner, and he knew that he was going to get his eye wiped, take the chance, I guess. I
Yeah.
know that when I was watching it, I'm like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah. Like
what's going
most
on?
people, I think.
You know what I mean? But hey, if you feel that you can get away with something, do it. But I don't know. That's definitely not a fight that I was gonna pick.
I'm certainly looking forward to the first he's Turkey Al Sheikh as I mentioned is taking pay-per-view off the table,
Yeah.
and he's going to be introducing that that particular plan in the next event that he puts on in November, and
Right.
on that one I'm very looking we're going to see Anthony Yard against David Benavidez on that
Right.
card. We're
Right.
seeing Devin Haney versus Brian Norman. That'll
Yeah.
be a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. 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 I can't think if there's any fights this year that well, I mean, the Brian Newman fight in Japan, that was cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that one was cool. But yeah, we can talk about fights that are about to happen. Whatever you want.
Who are some of the guys that you've had a chance to work with, spar with, and be around?
Of course, I trained with Jerron Ennis. I sparred Boots for probably all of 2021. I'd say no for sure. I was the main sparring partner in 2021. Jerron Ennis.
Yeah.
There'd be fighters in Philly that were down the street and they wouldn't even come in the gym and come spar with them. Mind you, at that time I was actually competing at I think a 201, so I was a bit heavier. But there'd be times where I go to Boziannis's gym or and Bozy, but yo, gear up. You know what I mean? Like nobody would get in the ring with them. But I sparred many people. We got Carlos Flowers, who is a current USA boxing a fighter, 156, phenomenal. When he comes, he's in the camp right now. But every time he comes back, we get work in. But one thing about me though, I don't really spar that much. No, currently. I spar Carlos and stuff, but everything we do is strategic. The gyms that I was at, and DC and Philly, they spar so much. They spar 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's too much. Being those head blows, it's not. You're not going to see it right then and there. It happens
Sure.
along the time. So
Yeah.
like I said, I'm just super thankful with the team that I have and how we're moving in this. But I've been in the ring with who else have been in the ring? I've been in the ring with a lot heavyweight Mustard Kaysen. Me and him sparred a lot, like so much. All of the East Coast, man, people were gonna know me. They say they're lying, but I sparred a lot of people. I'm trying to think. Oh, I sparred what's his name? Atif Overton, like
Okay.
years ago. Years ago I sparred him. That's when I was in Philly.
Them Philly guys, man. Those Philly guys, man, are built different, man. Right?
Yeah.
Tough
Yeah,
city,
for
man.
sure.
Turns out some amazing boxers. What do you think your life after boxing looks like? Like, are you one of these guys that's going to make a clean break from the sport when you are done competing in the ring, or do you feel like you'll always keep a foot in boxing? Are you interested in promoting or coaching or training or any of that kind of stuff?
Come on, man. Any fighter that tells you a clean break, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Is that a real thing?
I don't know, because it does seem like, well, I've certainly had guys on here, I mean, who will say, when I hang the gloves up, I might get into real estate or I don't know, singing or acting or this or that or whatever, man. But I don't know though, man. It does seem like a lot of guys that hang up the gloves do end up staying in the sport in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be here for sure. I got my son. He's on 2.5, but he's already doing mid. He's already doing mitts running. I'll be here for a while. That's my junior too, so I'll be here for a little while.
And so I'm glad you brought that up. So as a parent, man, knowing how difficult boxing is, knowing that it's a lifestyle, knowing that it's dedication, knowing that there is a darker, dirtier side of the sport at times,
sure.
you would still be supportive of your son participating.
For sure. If that's his decision, I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll burn him out before he even gets old enough to get in there. So maybe he'll be an astronaut or something. But what I always say is, if he's an astronaut, he'll know how to fight the aliens. So
That's true.
What it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
He'll be Will Smith up there. He'll be Will Smith in Independence Day.
Yeah, yeah, hey, you know, he'll know how to
Kicking
fight the
aliens,
aliens, man.
kicking aliens' asses. And so his mother though, would his
Yeah.
mother object? Would his mother object to fighting?
No, I don't think so, man.
No.
I feel like she'll be fine with it. Well, maybe not fine, but
Yeah.
if that's what he wants to do, she for sure let him do it.
And if it wouldn't have been boxing for you, what paths were you thinking about taking? Because you look like an athletic guy. Were there other sports, in your vision?
It's kind of funny because when asked that question, I always say I do NASCAR, but
Yeah.
I just like to drive. I feel like driving would be nice to race and stuff. But that's kind of like a joke. But trying to think. And it's funny, you said I'm an athlete and all that. Now, look, I didn't get my growth spurt until I graduated high school. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
until when I was a senior, then I started growing. You know what I mean? So I just feel like that also helped me out and where I'm at right now.
In terms of in terms of growing what up or
Everything. I was
everything.
small. I don't think I was even in high school. Wouldn't even say I was higher than 170. Not even barely touching 170. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And no muscle. I thought I had muscle, but no
And
muscle.
so did you get into boxing? Like, were you somebody that was like, you said you got in a lot of fights with your friends. Were you holding your own? Did you feel bullied or unable to defend yourself? Like, what was the impetus for getting into the boxing? Like, was it to prove something to yourself?
No, I definitely didn't feel bullied. It's just that right there. I'm just right there. If I just had the right training, the right people, I know I could, become something.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I'm becoming something, but definitely wasn't getting like dogged out or anything. Just didn't have the understanding. I keep saying understanding. I didn't
Yeah.
have the understanding of the actual sport, the mechanics of the punches and the catching and rolling. I didn't. But yeah, no.
What's the least favorite part of a training camp for you? I mean, I know a lot of guys will say making weight, obviously, because you got to cut back on stuff that you enjoy. But you sound like a guy who's putting good food into your system anyway. So
Love it. I love it. I don't know you said hardest thing about training.
yeah, the worst thing that you don't like about a training camp, running.
Love it.
Love running. Okay. I feel like you're going to be one of those guys who's going to say, I love being in fucking camp.
Camp is life. Life is camp.
Yeah.
I say that. I say that.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to think. I don't want to pass this yet. Because I'm in camp right now.
Yeah. You're right. Right. And you look like you're loving life. You don't look like a guy who's having a hard time.
Yeah, man. I'm running these hills out in Tennessee right now.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
Well, because you do tend to see a lot of guys in camp. They're drawn out. They're not eating what they want to eat. You know what I mean? They're sucking. You know what I mean? They're trying to make weight. They're they're obviously putting their bodies, pushing them to the limit and beyond.
Yeah. Nah, cause I don't know, man. I guess I just can't answer that question because even elevation in Utah, because I'm gonna be in Utah in a couple weeks as well, training in Utah. So it's like, and I love it. It was like 90 degrees today, and
Yeah.
I was running last night, and then I ran today. I love it, man. I know, and I feel, and I've told I have small clients that are like 9 years old.
Yeah.
That anything hard, you want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because it's gonna make that much of a separation from you from the regular person.
Right.
So if it's hard, if it's tough, I don't know, I want to do it. So I'll actually, even after this interview, I want to sit down with myself and think about what I don't enjoy in camp. I love it all.
I suppose if you like all the aspects of it, that's a good thing. And I'm sure your team would be thrilled to say,
Yeah.
hey, this guy's not complaining about nothing in camp.
Yeah, yeah, no, I want to be pushed as far as I can, and give my all in everything that I do. It's one day at a time, one moment at a time.
Right.
I'm truly thankful.
I mean, like, for instance, I'm about to go down to Pennsylvania this weekend, me and my son, and we're going to be doing some commentating. A friend of ours that we met through the podcast is fighting in Erie, Pennsylvania. His team invited us to come down and do the commentating. He called me last night to round out the plans. I was eating some of my wife's homemade peanut butter cookies, and I rubbed his nose in it a little bit and said I was enjoying some cookies. He's making weight. It's fight week, man. So he was struggling with that. That's probably a part, I would say, on his behalf, that's probably a part of camp he's not really enjoying right now,
Yeah, everyone's definitely different because with me, it's like, especially as the weeks dwindle down, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, I do certain things, and the
Right.
thing is, once we reach those weeks, it's my brain just blocks it out. So
Right. So coming off a first round knockout, Jesus, man, coming off a first round knockout, what, 4 days ago?
The 24th.
Yeah. Okay, so
No,
okay.
no, it was the 26th.
No, 26th. Yeah, which is 4 days ago. Yeah. Jesus, man, you don't look like a guy that was even in a fight. Well, I mean, it didn't even go a full round. So I mean, I suppose that's a good thing, man. That's the way. That's the way to not get bad judging right there. Just get them right out of there in the first round. Good strategy. Yeah,
for sure.
And so you fight again in September, and then you've got one already on BoxRec for November as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, man, I enjoyed this a lot, man. It's great chopping it up with you, man. Always welcome on here, man. As your career progresses, I tell this to all the young guys early in their career, man. I've had a lot of the OGs and a lot of the legends of the sport on here, but I really get a charge from having the young guys that are going to progress the sport forward, who are going to be the ambassadors for the sport, that are the young guys that are the future champions, man. I get the biggest charge out of having those guys on, guys like you. So definitely stay in touch, man. I definitely will have you back on, and we'll do this again.
For sure. Just reach out.
Yeah, really enjoyed this, man, and certainly best of luck with your career going forward, man. We'll talk. We'll definitely talk somewhere around one of those next fights of yours.
Thanks, man. Definitely. I loved the show. It was great questions, and it was a great time.
Thank you. I appreciate it, EZRI. We'll talk again soon, my friend.
My guy.
All right. Later, my man.
Yep. See you.
There he goes, folks. Another great young man, a.k.a. future champion, a.k.a. ambassador for this sport that we all love. Another great young man, great head on his shoulders, amazingly talented. EZRI Turner, 7-0-1, 5 KOs, super middleweight. What can I say, man? You guys just saw it all, man. Gregarious, affable, poised, amazing young man. So super happy to have him on the podcast. And congratulations on his recent win 4 days ago. 4 days ago, my guy. Knocked out a guy in the first round. I mean, come on, folks. That's the way to do it right there. As I said, that's the way to get around the bad judging. Just get him the fuck out of there in the first round. That's all. That's all. Easy peasy. So thank you to EZRI Turner. Really appreciate him coming on here, man. And again, can't say enough about these young fighters coming on here, man. Boxing fans, we know that our sport is in good hands at the end of the day. We're seeing some great young guys that are really going to rep this sport as it progresses into the 21st century and beyond, man. So warms my heart to see it. And there's another great one right there. EZRI Turner. EZRI, no time Turner. Going to be doing his thing for a while, man. Late to the sport, man, but catching up fast. So hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Again, make sure to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook. The Facebook page is Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum, both my podcasts, one Facebook page. And of course, if you're here watching right now on this channel, like, subscribe, smash that notification button to stay tapped in. Y'all know what we do here. The most amazing and real boxing conversations. We're all over the board with it, folks. You know how we do. Bringing conversation back from the dead. And of course, let me also say that I got my two podcasts confused at the beginning of this episode and called my dual purpose puppet back here the Freddie Mercury puppet, which that's the role he plays on the music ones. There he is.
Okay. So I thought you were going to resend the link. My bad.
Yeah. I'm going to send it to you in about 2 seconds.
Okay. You want me to get off?
Yeah. Hop off for a second. I'll be right with you, man. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me close this thing.
Look at that, folks. I got him banging down the door right in the middle of an episode. How do you like that? That's my next episode right there, man. That right there is that's poetic right there. That's poetic. I was just letting you guys know that, of course, that's the Freddie Mercury puppet on Pod Scum. And on here, he's the Alexis Arguello puppet. You better recognize, same great mustache, 2 separate podcasts. I don't know what else to say, man. It's getting crazy in here, man. I got my next guest already coming in, man. So, and by the way, that is lightweight contender Keith Hunter, who is about to come in here. You will see him on the next episode. I sent him the link ahead of time, folks. So I'm just going to do a little explainer right there, man. And he jumped in early, man. But I love that. That's enthusiasm right there, man. So we're about to get down with Keith the Bounty Hunter. That's going to be another episode. He came in a little premature, but that's all right. I'm going to end this episode and get cracking on his episode. So again, make sure to stay tapped in with us for the most amazing and real boxing conversations. Y'all know how we get down. Legends, luminaries, world champions, and fighters on the come up. Coming here to chop it up with your boy, Reckless Rexx. That's why we're the undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing podcast. And you can be a champion too. Just continue to stay tapped in to Off the Couch Boxing and continue to roll with the champs. Peace.